Hey guys, welcome to another episode of MIA with Damini. Get a pen, grab a notepad, and happy learning. Hey guys, so today is a very interesting day because what we have a very interesting topic, right? And people find this very controversial. Some people say that it's even impossible, right? And today we're talking about how to run a business and have a stress-free life. Now, the first question is it even possible to run a business and have a stress-free life? Most of the people I ask this question, uh, they say it's impossible. Like business in itself is stress, but I beg to differ, right? And I'm speaking from experience here. So I have my own businesses. I also work for other people's businesses, work with other people in their business, and I've also done a lot of study um, to understand people that have done so well in their business. And most of them that are really, really successful lived stress-free lifestyles. Fine, there will be once and there will be a one in a three or one in a four time frame where things get crazy, right? But most of the time, it's stress-free. Mind you, I must say that most of these people work or build their businesses in first world countries, not necessarily third world countries like Nigeria and a few other countries in Africa. I must say that. But I feel like there are things that you would learn from them, or you can learn generally that you can use in your own business to live a stress-free lifestyle, to have a stress-free lifestyle rather. I don't think that we should embrace this gra attitude, this attitude of always doing more than what we can handle, always multitasking. I'm not a strong believer of multitasking. I feel like when you multitask, you are literally reducing the quality of input you can give a particular activity. However, I am a good multitasker. So, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. But yeah, because of the kind of climate we live in today, you have to multitask. Even though I'm not, even though I'm not a huge believer of it. Now, what causes stress, right? I would say the first thing is being overwhelmed. As business owners, we always tend to take on a lot more work than we should. It's very normal. I know when I started one of my businesses, um, right after school, I try to do everything at the same time. I try to go and meet the suppliers myself. I try to meet the people that will help me distribute the product. Like it was a mess. It was an actual mess, and I could have solved that problem by just getting, even if it's a friend, I could have just solved that problem by getting a friend of mine involved and split the responsibility. But I was so stressed during that period because I was doing everything myself. We used to live in a place called Ogun State. I don't know if you guys know about that. Well, you can check it on Google, right? So we used to live in Ogun State, and then all the suppliers that I was working with back then were in Lagos. So I'll come all the way from Ogun State to Lagos. This would take me about, it depends on the traffic. Traffic can be ridiculous, but this could take me from 2 hours to as crazy as like 6, 4, 5 hours in a day. And, you know, it was just wild times. And I didn't need to do all that if I had gotten someone else involved. So one of the first causes of stress for us as business owners is that we are always overwhelmed with work, right? We don't even take time off. We live in a culture where working 24/7 is something to brag about, right? You hear stories from the lady that started Spanx to Elon Musk. I talk about Musk a lot. You hear stories where they say things like, "Oh, I became an overnight success, but it took me 70 hours a week. It took me 80 hours a week." Um, it's not healthy. It's not healthy, guys. Don't do that. These people, they will not tell you the amount of uh, checkups they've gone through with doctors, like high quality doctors, to make sure that they are working and functioning properly today. They will not tell you that. So you also need to understand that you shouldn't overwork yourself, right? Take some time off, relax, rest, things like that. Anxiety. Anxiety also causes stress. And one of the reasons why anxiety causes stress is because of we are we are so dependent on ourselves. Like you are the only leader in your team. You don't build leaders, and you carry that burden. People that micromanage a lot, they cannot. I can't function with micromanagers. And one of the people that suffer anxiety the most are people that micromanage, because they always know that they've not empowered that person enough, so they have to keep on micromanaging that person, which leads to anxiety. And this is very common in business. As a business owner, you're always micromanaging people, and it's like pointing a gun at your head. It's going to come back to bite you. So stop it. Stop being a micromanager. Um, you're a business owner. You don't sleep. Again, going back to that 24/7 work culture. You don't sleep. You believe that people that sleep more than 6 hours, people that sleep more than 5 4 hours are not doing it. You almost brag about sleeping. Oh, I only got 3 hours or 4 hours of sleep yesterday. I'm putting in the work. Nah. It's gonna affect you. And again, your health is wealth. Like, I don't know how else to say besides saying health is wealth. If you do not sleep, it's gonna come back to bite you. Like, it's gonna. I'm trying not to curse. It's gonna come back to haunt you. Let me use that word. And just get enough sleep, man. Like, get enough sleep. Then from sleep, your eating habits are whack. Like, you eat. Oh, again, I can't even believe I'm the one preaching this, because even me myself, I'm struggling with my eating habits, but I'm trying. Like, over the past 2 weeks, I've been having a lot of vegetables in my meal. So yeah, I think I should crack myself. But if your eating habits are, if they are out of place, like you can't be eating swallow. You can't be eating swallow as breakfast. You can't be eating swallow as dinner, to be honest. You shouldn't be eating swallow as dinner. Like, you know, so you can sleep properly, your food can digest properly. You have to learn how to eat well. Um, there's no point drinking responsibly and reasonably. There's no point in drinking a whole bottle of alcohol. Like, fine, you're in the business, yeah, you run a business, you had a long weekend. So you had a long week. So over the weekend, you want to just like, where is the energy for Monday? How are you going to be productive next week? If you are hungover and you have a headache, how are you going to be productive? If your immune system is weak, how are you going to be productive? So your eating habits, your sleeping habits, even exercise, getting the blood pumping. Like, if you most businesses, let me not say most. A few business owners nowadays, they work from their phones, right? They work from their phones, and because of that, you literally work from a couch or a bed the whole day. You don't do anything. Nah, these things, they add up. Your body and your brain, they have ways of working together to work against you, to cause stress, right? That's when anxiety begins to come in, that, oh, am I doing enough? Because you're always like lounging, your brain begins to ask you questions. Are you doing enough? Your mates are outside doing this, doing that. And this is one of the things that causes stress. So you always need to be active. Get your blood pumping. Create a workstation or a work area where you know that, okay, this is my productive space. Whenever I'm here, this is the work I'm going to do. Right? Instead of just working from your bed or from your couch. Something like that. Don't All those things don't help you. And these are the things that increase your stress levels. And when your stress levels are increased, it begins to lead to physical problems like cardiovascular diseases. Look at me, sound like a doctor. Um, insomnia is one of the common ones. I know back then I used to have some serious insomnia because I was always stressed. I was always anxious. I was always busy about thinking about the next order. Where would the money capital come from? And and then there's the mental health side of it, where you know anxiety and depression are very, very strong here. Suicidal feelings coming as well. So these are the reasons why you need to watch your stress. You need to watch how you take care of yourselves when it comes to stress related issues, right? Some people believe that stress is common day to day, especially if you live in a place like Lagos, and you have a car. Like, if you are driving in Lagos, you are probably going to be stressed, but it's not healthy. And you should find ways to, like, remove yourself from those type of environments that cause you stress, or at least reduce the amount of time you spend in those areas, right? Um, so how do you? Sorry, guys, I want to look at this. So the next question would be, how do you create a stress-free lifestyle, right? We've spoken about the things that cause stress in our lives. So how do we create a stress-free lifestyle? And the first thing I'll say is you have to call a spade a spade. You can't you can't lie to yourself, really. Like, lying to yourself leads to anxiety and depression. Like, you can't lie to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Like, okay, you know what? I'm doing more than what I can do. Like, I'm doing what I do not even know. A lot of times you see people trying to do things that they don't know what they're doing. But because they are so, I'm going to use the word stubborn. I don't use the word arrogant. The word stubborn. Because they're so stubborn and strong-headed, they would continue to go down that pit. Now, in business, there's something called a SWOT analysis, right? So SWOT being strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We also need to do a SWOT analysis on ourselves. What is our strengths? What's our weakness? Where do we find opportunities and where are the threats? Go towards your strengths and your opportunities and stay far away from your weaknesses and threats. Like, don't be near those places. Outsource those things. Like, no man is equal, no man is the same, no man is an island. That was so deep. But it's true, no man is an island, right? If my strength is creating digital content like videos, taking pictures, things like that, and I do not know how to create copy, or I don't know how to talk to people, I don't know how to sell to people. I need to find somebody that knows how to do that. If because I know how to create digital videos, I can create a YouTube channel, I can create a vlog series, that's an opportunity. I can look into doing that because it aligns with my strength. But if I'm being called to speak at panel in front of thousands of people, and I know that I don't know how to speak or sell to people, or what am I looking for there? Right? I'm not saying that you should not improve on your weaknesses and threats. Don't get me wrong. You should improve. You should always work to improve yourself. But it's not at the detriment of your business. Find hobbies to do that. Don't do it with your business. All right. Um. So yeah, call a spade a spade. Now divide and conquer. Divide and conquer is very similar to what I just said. But you want to focus on either outsourcing the things you can't control or you can't handle, like outsource it or hire people. As a small business, or well, I'm not talking to small business owners, I'm talking to growing business owners, right? As a growing business, there are times where you might not be able to afford to employ people. You might not be able to afford to pay payroll over the next 6 months, 1 year, things like that. However, I strongly suggest that you should work towards hiring people. Life is easier and business is sweeter when you hire people. That's what I'll say. So at the beginning stages of your business, you might have to outsource. Outsourcing is easy because you don't necessarily have to pay money. You can outsource to somebody and say, okay, you know what, this and this and this is what we want. I need you to do. When the money comes in, I will then pay you. For example, let's say I'm working with a videographer. I want to create some uh, some creative assets for a product, right? I can't meet the videographer. How you doing? I don't have this money right now. What's your cost? Okay, 400,000 naira. All right, then no problem. Please help me shoot this content. I will pay you within XYZ days or within that period, right? That was one of the beauties of outsourcing. So you can also do that. You can outsource, and you don't need to now go to sleep in the night thinking of ah that my video that I use my camera to shoot. The video is not fine. People will not like it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Outsource to a professional. You don't need that stress. Outsource to a professional, right? Um, the next thing I have here is you are what you eat. Like, I think when I wrote this down, I wrote it down with anger. You are what you eat. And I was almost talking to myself because, like, I have this bad habit of when I stock my house, right? When I have like I go outside to stock, I go to the supermarket to stock. I buy a lot of healthy things. I buy my fruits, I buy my veggies, I buy like everything. I buy a lot of eggs, I buy milk. Everything is so I know that okay, I'm not eating out for like the next 1 or 2 weeks. Once that stock has finished, I'm not stocking up to another like 3 weeks. So I'm just eating rubbish those 3 weeks. That's just me. Like, get my hand on quick chips, get my hand on a burger, get my hand on Oreos. That's me. And I know it's a problem. So you are what you eat, right? You are what you eat. And we all need to work on it, including myself. Sweat every day. Sweat every day. Uh, if you follow my page on Instagram and TikTok, you will know that I am a big gym body. Uh, Sadly, work has caught me off guard for the past few weeks, but I love going to the gym. It gives you some self of dignity. It gives you some sort of self respect. It gives you some sort of pride that yeah, I'm working out. I'm trying to be a better self. I'm trying to look good for myself, right? And that energy flows into your business. That energy flows into creative ideas for your business. That energy flows into even administrative duties for your business. Or like when you're calling customers to follow up on orders, when you're calling customers, when you're calling suppliers, you literally sound nicer. Like you have all the anger, you have put it inside the treadmill or inside the what's it called now? Inside the metal iron. Like you just packed all the anger and packed it there. The iron has collected it from you, right? So you should sweat every day. These are things that can help your blood get your blood flowing, get your heart pumping, and just release good energy, good chemicals the whole day, right? And the last one is Yoruba says Esundada. I hope I pronounced that well, but it's actually Esundada, which means sleep well, right? Get enough sleep. Personally, I believe that 6 to 8 hours of sleep is wonderful. People like Bill Gates, that famous monk, I can't remember his name right now. They say that the body actually needs 4 hours of sleep. However, when you read that story completely, what they tell you is that during the day you are in a state of rest or something like that, which means you're not doing a lot of work during the day. That's why the body can work on 4 hours of sleep. As a business owner, you and I both know we're going to do a lot of work during the day. So get enough sleep, right? So they say health is wealth. Sleep is also wealth. So get enough sleep. And that's about it. These are things that you can just start doing from today, right? From today, that can help you. Now, here's a trick that I use. I use to-do lists a lot. Like I literally use to-do lists a lot. And one of my mentors told me this, like, well, 3 4 years ago. And since then, I've been able, I think that's what even helps me in my multitasking, to be honest. I've been able to handle work, I've been able to handle school, I've been able to handle business all at the same time, all just because I have a to-do list. And I split them into weekly and daily to-do lists. I don't have a monthly to-do list because I feel like too many things can change within a week to affect a month. So I just work with weekly to-do lists and monthly to-do lists and weekly and daily to-do lists. I try to split everything. So for today now, I'm working on my business and I'm working on work. That makes any sense. Then tomorrow, I'm focusing on school. I'm catching up on all my school activities. I'm not doing anything work related. Next tomorrow, I'm doing only things work related and school related. There are ways you find a common ground, a common balance with it, and those are things that can help you. All right? Yeah. So it's a wrap. That's about it for today. So you'll be hearing from me in another episode, I guess. But don't forget to share this with your friends, your family, people that have businesses, and that will find this type of content useful. So yeah, you'll be hearing from me soon.